Has been remarkable,
hasn't it? Just, yeah, I mean, they had a dire 2024. They've recruited, and I think in particularly and pointedly, they've recruited experience. This is not a long-term solution for them. This is to really turn things around. And I think on the evidence of the first 6 rounds of the season, guys like John Asiata, they've signed Jordan Rapiner from the NRL, they've signed Zach Hardacre, bags and bags of Super League and NRL experience, and hasn't it proven to be shrewd set signings?
So Mark Sneed will get us underway at Warrington against Hull FC, and here he is, the man of the moment, Herman SASA, and what a potent force he has been already for the Hull FC, and another of their experienced signings in the Australian, Liam Knight, who'll get involved as well. Here is Zach Hardacre playing in the second row. Strange old looking pack, isn't it, for Hull FC, with Hardacre and Ed Chamberlain in the second row.
Yeah, that's been Chamberlain's in possession now, and that is sort of, look, it's got its pluses and its minuses. Bags of experience, bags of athleticism. It's a different mind game, though. He's playing in the back row and playing in the centre. They may only be a metre apart on the field, but the defensive mindset in particular is very different. That'll be an interesting watch, this.
Caesar gets the kick away, and it's well taken by the dangerous Matthew Ashton. Warrington, of course, with a Towers Cup semi-final to look forward to against Lee after their victory over St Helens last weekend. Hull FC beaten, of course, by their big rivals. Make a date in your diary for Friday, Good Friday, lunchtime, noon kickoff. Hull and Hull KR clash once again in Super League, a top of the table clash. Here is Harrison, just over halfway for Warrington. Danny Walker, who's had a really impressive start to the season. Matt Dufty. They use Dufty quite a lot, don't they, from that position. Sneed will launch a high one. First test for Will Price at fullback, and pass with flying colours. Easy take, not so much pressure. And Will Price at fullback for you is the future.
I think it's his natural position. I think it's where he's most dangerous. He's a really good runner of a ball. Brilliant step on him. But wasn't that a decent first set in possession for Warrington? Right down the other end of the field. Good kick, good chase. Started by Ben Curry. Finished, as you say, by Matt Dufty. Quick play the ball. All the signs here that we're going to end up with a really, really good start to the game for both sides.
There is SASA leading the Man of Steel rankings at the moment. Herman SASA, Asiata and Caesar now. This is good play from Hull. Ball going well, it's a forward pass. It was a forward pass in the end to Briscoe, but that really is a sign of what Hull FC are all about. It was forward, it was marginal, and let's have a look.
Yeah, it's out of the hands of Rapiner, and it is just forward. It's a quick catch and pass. Ashton put the pressure on, but you're right, it's a shot across the bows of the Warrington Wolves. This is a side that has come here with a massive following, it has to be said. Looking across to our left now, a huge away contingent following Hull FC. It is a statement that they have come to play.
Well, I was having a look back, and it's astonishing. Before this season, they'd won 3 out of their last 33 matches. Dreadful end to season 2023. A wretched season, as we mentioned, in 2024. But looking much more like it. Good tackle on Roderick Tye. It was Chamberlain again, who's showing his worth in the second row. On halfway, it's a good quick start from both sides, and then Chamberlain again taking on Paul Vaughan. Midway inside the Hull FC half, Danny Walker an acting halfback, and Sneed now, and Williams looking to set something up through Dufty. But no way through for Matt Dufty, the dangerous Matt Dufty with ball in hand. Here is Sneed. Just pops the ball up for Zane Musgrove, who's making the prop forward position his own this season, and his best form since pulling on a Warrington jersey. And Sneed it is, he'll go to the corner, and Briscoe takes it well under pressure from Matthew Ashton. He watched the ball all the way. Tap 27 tackle set for the black and whites.
Notwithstanding the overcooked kick from Mark Sneed, the more that I watch Warrington, the longer this season goes, They look such a more balanced side, don't they, with Mark Sneyd in it. They've been crying out for organisational half. Take a bit of the pressure off George Williams. This is going to be a fun side to watch this for the rest of 25.
Well, he's already made a big difference, notably, hasn't he, in the 2 games against St Helens, the league game when the Wolves won 14-12, and the Challenge Cup win last weekend.
Good dart by Cuss down the short side.
I was going to say it was a knock-on. Kay Cuss is absolutely furious. He's convinced that there was interference by Lachlan Fitzgibbon.
Commentators should never praise players on the field during a play, should they? And we're seeing now in real time that's why we shouldn't do it. Yeah, just it's a great bit of vision short side, and then tries to play the ball on Lachlan Fitzgibbon's foot and comes up with a knock-on. The idea was good. They made good yards down the short side. Just need to be a bit more patient there. They had a bit of dominance. They had a bit of a flow going.
Well, you can see which way they're going to go. They're going to attack that Warrington left edge defence, aren't they? 0-0. It's been a 100-mile-an-hour start from both, coming up to 6 minutes left, on the clock.
I think the beauty of this, looking at both sides, there is strike all over the park. You say they're looking to their right-hand edge. I'm looking at Davy Litton and Lewis Martin on this other side as well, as they concede a penalty very early in the tackle count. Josh Shoeless.
Caesar was high in the tackle.
Stay behind, boys. Stay behind.
First tackle as well. So
I think maybe he's got him. Yeah, he's got him for a high shot. I think he may have got him for offside as well. He was very quick out the blocks, wasn't he?
So good field position for Warrington, and Sneyd it is from Musgrove. Big hit there from Knight. Liam Knight read that superbly.
Go on.
Really high intensity start from both sides as Vaughan gets the offload out. It was well read once more, this time by Cade Cuss. Walker it was who picked it up. Here is Harrison, who's been playing in the loose forward position, but very much as a third prop as well in this Warrington side. Sneyd, opportunity for Williams looking for a way through, and Rapinoe was there along with Cade Cuss. Here is Sneyd. Asiata, Knight and Hardacre wrapping up Musgrove. Last one right in front of the post. They go the short side. Williams offloads it to action. It was forward. It was a forward pass. It was the right idea. Absolutely no doubt about that. In real time you could see that it was forward, and a good decision and well spotted by the referee Liam Moore.
Yeah, a little more clear cut, wasn't it, than the one out of Rapinoe's hands early on. But another quick catch and pass. Briscoe is in exactly the right place, and he forced the quick action from Ben Curry. So a turnover in possession, the boys getting into it, rolling the sleeves up. That time Harrison comes in heavy on Briscoe.
Terrific start. It's the arm wrestle that we thought it would be, but they're really going at it. Here is Herman Essayesse.
We've mentioned him 3 times. Are we not contractually obliged to call him the Herminator?
Well, at some stage,
He's been outstanding, hasn't he, this year?
Who's together then? All boys!
Along with Tavita Pangai Jr. over at Catalan Dragons, the top offloader in Super League as well. But he offers just so much more, doesn't he? Essayesse. Asiata on the last, just inside his own half of the field. And Aidan Caesar will get a high, hanging, teasing kick away. And it's well taken by Matt Duff. They were 9 minutes on the clock. Early thoughts.
Yeah, they've gone toe for toe, and that's exactly what we expected. There's a much more disciplined Hull FC side in 2025, and you evidence in that. Look, they didn't make a great deal of metres, but they had a good high-hanging kick and a connected kick chase. Not an awful lot for Duffy to have a go at there.
Here's Williams and Ben Curry. Just having a look back, you know, he's been here a long, long time as Ben Curry. 295th appearance for Warrington. Second only in the current squad to Stefan Ratchford, who's 18th man for the Wolves today. Here is Paul Vaughan looking for the offload. Last one, he was looking for the penalty. He's not going to get it. And it's Williams this time who goes high towards Briscoe. And again, well watched by the veteran Tom Briscoe. And Will Price did well.
Scattered back, Jimmy.
Stayed in play. 0-0 coming up for 10 minutes on the clock. We've got to say, it's as good as we hoped it would be so far.
Yeah, I was looking forward to this one driving over today and thinking about all the individual battles. You know, look, I've got two wingers here that I wanted to name check as well. Lewis Martin has had an outstanding start to life in Super League. Matty Ashton, I thought, ran George Williams close for player of the match last week. He was simply outstanding.
So here is Lewis Martin, just up to halfway. Yeah, he's been outstanding, he really has. Caesar on the last will. Bit of swivel on that one, and there's the error. It was a great kick by Aidan Caesar, and the curse of John Wells strikes again as he bigs up Matty Ashton, and this is the best field position that Hull FC had so far in the game. Shake of the head, rueful shake of the head from Matty Ashton, but what a chance for Hull.
Sorry, Matty, I'll take that one. That's my fault. You could see 100 of those get put up. You would not expect Matty Ashton to put a ball down. Really exciting player, safe as houses usually at the back. That is a really uncharacteristic error from a really high quality player, but they put themselves under pressure.
10 seconds.
They defended really well. Now they've got a chance to show what they can do with ball in hand. The difference that John Cartwright has made as coach is seismic. He really has. Here is Rapinoe now. Rapinoe from Briscoe! And it really was as simple as A, B for Briscoe, and C. 4-0, first real attack, straight from the scrum. Briscoe with the try, and Hull FC hit the front.
That was some really, really good subtle play off the scrum. Will Price switches sides early, pulls Matt Duffy across to mark him, and then they go to the right. I want you to take a look at the hands of Jordan Rapinoe here, and just a little drift, the body shift. But it all comes back to this. It's a high ball not dealt with by a really experienced member of the Warrington back three. And from the scrum, you just have a look at Rapinoe's here. Just a little body drift to the outside of Curry. Leaves him standing, draws in Ashton, and then Briscoe crosses almost untouched. It's worth having a look from this other angle. Just look at the drift on the outside. It's brilliant. And while we're talking about back rowers playing in the centre, there's another example. Ben Curry, look, he's played a fair bit of centre as Ben Curry, but the mindset never changes. He's looking in, and he's got done on the outside by a really, really high-quality piece of play. First blood, the visitors. First try, Briscoe, but a try assist and a really good one to that man, Rapinoe.
Tom Briscoe, 35 years of age, his 18th year playing at the highest level. He made his first Hull debut all the way back in 2008, and it was against Warrington, and he won't score many easier tries. With Will Price from the touchline to make it the perfect start. Just fades across the right of the sticks, Will Price. Great try from Briscoe. And first attack, first try, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, they're really good, they're really strong, Hull FC. When they get in the opposition red zone, it does not take them many tackles on average to score. Generally, one set of six is enough for them to register points. It took them one play, and I think that's in large part down to the service that Rapinoe got and the space that he created with that little subtle shift of the hips. Did Curry on the outside, and Briscoe the happy recipient.
We talked about the seismic difference that John Cartwright has made as coach. I was speaking to him yesterday, and he's just standing away to our left, about 20 yards away to our left up here on the gantry. And he said, we work hard, we really do work hard, but there's a togetherness. But he also said it's very important that they have some fun. There's some fun and enjoyment in everything they do, and it's self-evident with the way that they performed so far.
I think, I've not spent an awful lot of time in his company, but he seems to be a real calm character, speaks quietly but carries a big stick, yes, so absolutely. They say.
Yeah. Penalty, high shot on Zach Hardacre. Sneed and Curry and Fitzgibbon all involved there.
Yeah, it was Hardacre again, just showing the Rapinoe on the outside, and Mark Sneed just collects him high. Not an awful in it, penalty only, but a real pressure reliever for Hull FC, and a decent kick from Caesar rather puts them deep into Warrington territory.
Well, here's the question: can they go back to back? That's the plan. Big hit on Knight, but a good offload, and it's picked up by Cade Cust. Liam Knight's been an unsung hero, hasn't he? He was released by Canterbury. They dispensed with his services in the NRL. He was picked up by Hull FC, and he's doing a fine job. Here is Asiata, one of their marquee signings.
They've opened the field up here as well. Shot right coming.
Yep. And here they go with Caesar, and Price cuts inside, does well. But they were claiming a high tackle, but he was going down, was Will Price. And then Burrow. Here is Asiata. Asiata's big hit. What a good tackle that was. It was George Williams' thunderous hit on Herman Sasa, but they go to the right again with Caesar, and Rapinoe looking for space on that outside. This time it was well read by Ben Curry. What are they going to do on the last? Cust dinks a little kick up. The ball bounces, and it bounces kindly, and it could be a try for Davy Litton. Wow! Hull FC think they doubled up through Davy Litton. What a start this is for the black and whites. Try off the field. The video referee, Jack Smith, will adjudicate.
Tackle 5, we've got a try on field. We're checking ground of the ball. All the chasers are onside at this point. Going to the contest. Doesn't appear to touch Asiata. We'll see if we get anything else on a closer in angle. That doesn't show us. Try camera 2, this one will be our best. That appears missed by Asiata. That misses John Asiata, and it's always appears to be off the legs. Go back to grounding now. We're going to lose this behind the post, aren't we? We're going to need camera 2. So it misses Asiata. That's always off the legs of Litton. Slow. Just confirm this on camera 1 on the grounding. And he maintains possession of the ball to the ground. I've made my decision.
Wow, Hull SC, a striking goal at the Halliwell Jones. They've gone back to back, and they take control of the game. Tries from Tom Briscoe, and now from Davy Litton. And what a start this has been for the black and whites.
They are deadly, aren't they? They get into the right area of the field, and they know exactly what strings to pull. They've had to mix that back line around a fair bit. Will Price moving to full-back. Cade Cust coming back into the halves, all to accommodate a back row absence of Jordan Lane. And as Will Price knocks over the extras, I think you can say on the evidence of the first 15 minutes, it's been a very, very shrewd shuffling of those figures. Davy Litton gets on the end of a fantastically placed kick from Cade Cust.
Yeah.
Williams can't deal with it. He's under pressure from Asiata.
Yeah.
And talk about being in the right place at the right time, and then having the presence of mind to control, be patient, ground. Isn't he happy?
Well, here's one for you. We talk about Aidan Caesar, who's playing the best rugby we've seen him play in the British game. Cade Cust too. Cade Cust, of course, it just didn't happen for him, did it, at Wigan? He lost his place. Aidan Caesar, disappointing at both Huddersfield and Leeds. They paired up at Hull, and they look different players.
Yeah, sometimes you just, a player needs to find a club and needs to find a group of players around them. And look, there's no two ways about it. Certainly Cade Cust had a point to prove. He was at a crossroads in his career. But you get the opportunity, and he's taken it, hasn't he? He's kicked the door in.
Asiata, they're going to that right edge again. Hardacre just shy of halfway. Last one is back for Caesar, under pressure from Sneed. This time it was taken well by by Dufty. So 10-0, 17 minutes gone, and Hull FC, very, very good value for their lead.
They are, look, they're not making an awful lot of meters. Warrington, I dare say, will be dominating field position. But I'll say it again, they have been, when in position, deadly. Really, really dangerous in the opposition red zone. So for Warrington, it is absolutely imperative they get to kicks, they get to the end of the sets, and you see, they've had the possession, but look at the meters.
And Harrison has just lost the ball on halfway.
I know.
Possession, meters, every stat in Hull FC's favour. Now they've got a penalty for a high tackle. Paul Vaughan, he thinks he protested too much. 10-0 and a chance for more points on the board.
Yeah, and they're going to be right back in the position they were in a couple of minutes ago. It's Rapiner steps back on the inside, and it's lazy as that from Paul Vaughan. There's no need for him to go high. It's reactionary. There's not an awful lot in it, but it's good enough to set Hull FC up once again.
It was Knight with the first run, and here is Caesar and Herman SASA. And they're holding on too long. It's a set restart. Here is Caesar. Oh, that's a good
shot. Good read. Yeah, that was brilliantly watched from Curry.
Darren Curry it was, yeah. Kate Cuss with nowhere to go. Asiata, they're only 3 or 4 yards away from that Warrington line. They go to the right once more. Caesar inside for Zach Hardacre. 2 yards away from the try line. They lead 10-0. Can they get another one here? Ball will come to the left-hand side as Asiata and Caesar. Caesar now. Chance for Litton. Litton offloads. The ball comes off a Warrington hand. It's a reset to 0. And here is Martin. What an opportunity this is now for the black and whites. Right on that try line. SASA on the charge, but it was well read by 1, 2, 3 Warrington defenders to stop the Herminator inches away from the try line. Amir Burrow. Asiata right in front of the sticks. And the more points in the black and whites here. Burrow. SASA was looking to offload, wasn't he? But it was well read.
Fine, boys. Go third.
Caesar. Chance for Briscoe! He'll get another one in the corner! This is sensational from Hull FC. What a performance in the opening 20 minutes. The black and whites, who couldn't win a game, they couldn't win a thing in 2024, have been transformed. 3 tries, 14-0, and very, very, very good.
No, and that left edge for Warrington is getting torn apart. The last pass from Cade Cust was beautiful. It was a rifled ball into the hands of Briscoe, who does this time cross absolutely untouched. Take another look at that ball from Cade Cust. That's outstanding. Caught Matty Ashton ball watching. Briscoe in at the corner. He gets a quick fire double. We're just past the 21-minute mark, and Hull FC are 3 scores to the good. I've got to say, they are absolutely value for all 3 of them. I am going to labour a point here. They are deadly close to their opposition line.
It's just a grab, isn't it?
They got a warning shot early that this was a Hull FC side willing to play. Well, if there were any doubt, they cannot be anymore, because that has been a scintillating start from the black and whites.
Price off the touchline, but again hooked across the face of the post. 14 points to 0. 3 times they've been down at the Warrington end of the field in that red zone. 3 times they've come up with tries.
Yeah, for Warrington, the conversation's got to be, we've just got to limit the meters. The discipline is letting us down. It is putting Hull FC exactly where they want to be without having to do the hard work. They need a clean set of 6 in defence here. Time for them to reset, go up a gear in defence, limit some meters, and again try and get a foothold in this game, because at the moment it's one-way traffic.
Move, square. Hole now.
What a turnaround. I commentated on their first game of the season when they had to go to the south of France to play the Catalan Dragons, and they were good. They were good then. We couldn't have expected how good they were, but they've just got better, haven't they? They had the blip in the Challenge Cup against their big rivals last weekend, and they've got a chance to put that right. Huge game, Good Friday lunchtime, live on Sky Sports, of course. But this has been exceptional job.
I think they've done everything right. They've been faultless to the start of this game, but I also think Warrington are underperforming currently.
Yeah.
5.
Here is Caesar. It's that old cliche there, isn't it? You can only play as well as the opposition lets you, and at the moment, Hull FC are not letting Warrington play at all.
Yeah, I mean, look, if there's one thing they do have control of, Warrington, it is that discipline defensively. I think that's probably the one thing that is within their control, but I agree with you. I think, you know, Hull FC have dominated and dictated the pace, the tempo, the field position for the most part, with a good kick and chase game.
Philbin on for the Wolves. Good charge from Joe Philbin. I think we're already at the stage, you know, where Warrington have to score next. 14-0 it is. 23 minutes have flown by. Here is Walker. Finds Harrison, bit of a gap. It was well read, wasn't it? Hardacre it was with the tackle in the middle. They go to the left, and Sneed puts up a high kick, and the ball bobbles backwards. It's picked up by Will Price. Came off a Warrington hand first, and Hull FC survived once more.
And it's a better set though from the Wolves. They start in that 10-by-10 corner. It's the next best result they can get. It comes off Ben Curry. I think he's trying to grab that and take that on the full. First contact from a Primrose and Blue hand. But this is an opportunity now for Warrington. We said, look, step it up defensively, shorten up that defensive line, apply a little bit of pressure here. Oh, and as soon as the words come out of your mouth, they compound everything by giving away another penalty. And that is exactly the ill discipline that will have Sam Burgess fuming at what he's seen so far in this game.
Yeah, and their discipline has been poor.
It's just too much, isn't it? Just too much in the tackle, too long on the tackle.
Good spot by the ref. It was Rappenar. And every time that they've come up with a mistake or given away a penalty through ill discipline, Hull FC have cashed in and scored. 14-0. 25 minutes gone. Blistering start from the black and whites. Here is Caesar now, and Will Price comes into the line, and he was nearly through. It was a good tackle by George Williams. It had to be as well. They may well be teammates, Price and Williams, in the Ashes series at the end of the year. But they're building pressure once more. Asiata and Caesar. Great opportunity for Custom. It was well held by Briscoe. This time he couldn't get away. The ball wasn't there for him to race onto. Last tackle, but look how close they are to that try line. Rappenar and Cust again will put up a teasing kick, and that was a good take, wasn't it, by Roderick Tye. And have they managed to push him back? But I think he's knocked on. Well, there's the error. Tye took it brilliantly, but in trying to keep in play, he's lost possession. Everything going wrong for Warrington, everything going right for Hull FC, but it was great defence.
Oh, he did the hard bit really well, didn't he? But just under pressure it was from Will Price. Just dislodged the ball. And wherever Warrington look, there is a Hull FC player. They are sticking to them like glue, force the error, and once again in possession. And we know this script, don't we? Hull FC, this area of the field, full set of 6. This is danger time. Alarm bells should be ringing for the Warrington Wolves. Really important set of 6 in defence.
Well, it's a revelation, Hull FC. John Cartwright was saying, though, it isn't a revolution, it's more an evolution. It's all about building, and they're going to get a penalty here. So what are we doing? Are we going for 2? Are we going for 4?
They'll carry on here. I think they smell blood in the water. I'll tell you what Warrington Wolves are doing. They're imploding.
Yeah. Get on the line, Joe.
They are. I think the call on the field from Aidan Caesar was, let's go for this, let's carry on. Knight right in front of the post. Here is Asiata now, little pump pass there, looking for Will Price coming into the line. They just look dangerous every time they've been in this position. Amir Burrow goes on his own, but he was held up on his back over the line. Well, they were claiming obstruction there, Williams and Walker, and that's a sign of a team that's struggling, that they're moaning and groaning when it doesn't go their way. Asiata, Caesar once more. Kate Cuss taking the tackle. Yeah, I think they were claiming that Burrow ran into a teammate. Here is Amir Burrow now, and Asiata. Caesar, they've got room here. Litton tries to get the ball out. I think it may well have come off a Warrington hand. It did, and Hull FC are going to get it back. This pressure is immense.
Well, it's come off Josh Thewlis, and he's saved a try in the process, but they're going to have to defend a fresh set of 6. And Thewlis has injured himself in the tackle as well. I think he's taken a cork to the leg. But he's put himself in the right place. It's a good read defensively from the wingman. He got in there before Litton could release the ball. But in doing so, there is another set of 6 coming the way of the black and whites. And John Cartwright will be absolutely over the moon with the start that they've had.
Harbaker. How good have they been?
By Joe! Oh, you're off! Go on, you're good now, you come back.
Here is Asiata now. Short pass for SA. He'll try and power his way over! And the Herman Asa has done it again! Herman SA has now scored tries in his last 6 league and cup games. The first Hull FC prop to ever do that. It's another Hull FC try. It's under the sticks. It's a man of the moment. It's Herman SA, and Hull are running riot.
Oh my God, that took some scoring, did that. Asiat has been brilliant in his distribution. And there's 2 players on him. We talked about post-contact meters. There was only 4 of them, but boy, did they count. One of the strongest, biggest, hardest to handle players in Super League. Top form, top of the Man of Steel leaderboard, reaches out, scores a try that will be converted. This will be a 20-point lead inside half an hour for the visiting side. That is outstanding from Herman SA.
Blooming heck. I mean,
I knew this was going to be something decent today. Wow. I didn't expect this. I really didn't.
No, I don't think either of us did. The Warrington fans certainly didn't. Price adds the extras, but I dare say, as SA goes off for a rest, I dare say that the Hull FC fans can scarcely believe the dominance of this game. Fair to say that Herman SA might be getting some more points. There's Richie Myler, who is the Hull FC Director of Rugby and Chief Exec.
Going now.
Knight. 20 points to 0. 9 minutes to half time.
Got his arm, Liam, you've got his arm. His hand, mate.
Well, Liam Knight can afford to smile. But, you know, it's probably as perfect a performance that you could possibly wish for from Hull FC. You know, and Warrington, well, they haven't really had any chances. The closest they've come to putting any points on the board are Mark Sneed's kicks to the corner, which have been dealt with in the main fairly comfortably by the Hull FC defence. Sam Burgess has got a heck of a team talk.
And you know, and part of it will be stop aiding and abetting the opposition, because that's what they've spent most of this first half doing. Their discipline in this side of the area around the ruck has been appalling.
Police back, done it. Go 5.
Ball goes back to Aidan Caesar. Matt Duffy will take that well. Last 8 minutes of the first half. It's a club, Hull FC, that's learning to win again. rather than accepting defeat.
Big challenge from Ashworth, roars from the crowd, but that was high on Holroyd, referee having none of it. And this is the first time Warrington have got a little bit of purchase in a set here.
And this time they have got a penalty. Kate Custett was who's penalised.
Yeah, player put in a dangerous position.
He just winded.
It's Harrison, and you've got Hardacre, and Cuss just underneath, lifts the leg. Yeah, that's just legs above the horizontal. Player in a vulnerable position. And these are experienced players, they should know better. First blot on the copybook for Hull FC.
He just winded.
And we'll just time off for a second while we make sure that James Harrison is A-OK to continue. He's still down on the floor, but looks all right. And John Cartwright, I tell you what, well, he'd be, apart from the last 20 seconds, he would be over the moon with his side's performance.
Yeah, he's just
It's a tough place to come and play. It's a really tough, attritional place to come with a partisan crowd, a side chock full of stars.
Well, they have won all 6 away games this season, all 6 of them. It's been remarkable.
It's going off.
In the Challenge Cup and in Super League. Can they win a 5th consecutive away game in Super League for the first time in 6 years? Well, they're well on their way to doing that. And the last time they won 6 on the road was back in 2006, John, when they reached their only grand final.
Yeah, incredible.
But this is an opportunity for Warrington to shine with ball in hand, and they've got to score. They've got to score next. And they get another helping hand with a 6 again. Set restart. Here is Roderick Tye, runs into Litton and to Caesar. They're going to try and drive him out of play. The Papua New Guinean centre. Thewlis just about taken by Sneed. There's the room on the far side. Duffy was square up looking for Ben Curry, and it's a high tackle. It was Rapidar on Curry. Yeah. Careless, I think.
Yeah, the step beat him. It was Curry changing angle. These guys are full tilt, in full scramble mode. And you see just that real late change in direction. And it's a coat hanger out. Look, I'd be surprised if there's any more action taken. It's a reactionary thing. Low degree of force in that, but it does strike, it does snake high. And referee's happy for this to continue and be at a penalty, but Hull FC all of a sudden they're on their own line here.
The closest that Warrington have come in the entire match. And we've got 5.5 minutes to go to half-time. Can they come up with some points? Luke Yates with a charge towards the try line. Walker now. Sneed and Duffy nowhere to go. Will run across that defensive line once more. Matt Duffy finds Williams, George Williams. Williams goes to the line, and Williams sneaks in at the corner. Well, finally they get points on the board. They have to score next. They have scored next. George Williams, the captain. He got his first 2 tries of the season against Saints in the Super League and in the Challenge Cup, and you never know how important his 3rd try of the season may prove to be.
No, absolutely, Stuart. He scored a brilliant individual solo try last week. That was the match winner. How important and how timely is that contribution from the captain? Roll your sleeves up, ball goes right. It did look a little disjointed. Duffy changed direction, nothing on. Even when it gets in the hands of Williams, it's just that vision that he's got. Gets on the outside of defenders, makes defenders do things they do not want to do, and gets the Warrington Wolves on the board. They're going to put a line under the last half hour, start there, and start to build back into this game. And the captain's shown the way.
Here, Jack.
Well, a fabulous first half. Sneed off the touchline. One of the very best kickers of the Super League era, full stop. They could do with his 2 points here. But again, just goes to the right of the post. Mark Sneed, of course, was a hero for Hull FC back in the day, winning the Landstock Trophy twice. But he missed the kick. It's 20 points to 4, but Williams' touchdown, will it make a difference?
Just look out what Williams does. I think he does this better than anybody else in Super League. We know how dangerous a ball runner he is. As soon as it gets into his hands, the skip to the outside, ball in 2 hands, he strips defenders like very few other players can. Puts doubt in the mind. The ball is never in one hand. There's always options that defenders have to think about.
Yeah, you mentioned the match-winning try against Saints in the Cup. That's exactly what he did. He split the defenders and there was no stopping him. Here is Luke Yates. Hope for Warrington.
Go too good, Amir.
3 minutes to half-time, but they're back in business. Crowther.
Move all the way, Jack. Go third.
Oh, big hit. That's a huge hit on Philbin by Jack Ashworth. The gantry shook. Massive hit from Jack Ashworth. And he's back for more. On the last, pressure on Sneed. It's well taken by Martin.
Go one move forward, Lewis Martin.
And here is Litton, one of the try scorers for the Black and Whites in this first half. 20 points to 4, 2 minutes to go to half-time at the Halliwell Jones Stadium. John Asiata. Harry Paul's heaving, by the way, in the first 2.5, 3 months of the season.
He's been outstanding, hasn't he? Yeah. Plays like an extra half, really good ball distributor, disguises his passes really well. Look at that again, on the money.
Caesar finds Price, looking for a way through. Will Price. Last one. 90 seconds to go to half-time.
Go 5.
And Caesar will put pressure here on Fulis. Well, he doesn't do well. He dropped the ball, and it's now picked up by Chamberlain. I thought he'd taken that, but as he was coming down, he lost possession, so they've got a minute and 20 seconds here, Hull FC, to get some more points on the board. Martin. These are massive moments in this match, make no mistake about it.
Yeah, Warrington simply have to keep a clean slate here in defence. They cannot afford another score. Ride out the next 45 seconds.
Well, let's see. Asiata and Caesar cuss now. There is Rappenar, who's been so dangerous on that left edge Warrington defence. Jordan Rappenar. 40 seconds to go. It's a set restart again. More pressure on Warrington. Briscoe gets the ball inside, and it was an opportunity there for Yusuf Aydin.
Yeah, it was good work from Dufty. He didn't try to win the physical battle with Aydin, just wrapped the ball up. But the danger averted just temporarily.
20 seconds to go in the half. Caesar once more. Litton puts a kick through and picks up the rebound! And David Litton, the rub of the green, the bounce of the ball, it goes the way of Hull FC, and it goes the way of David Litton, his second try on the stroke of half-time. The hooter goes. Hull FC are in dreamland.
Well, take a bow, David Litton. Some brilliant vision. He saw Matt Dufty, who was involved in the tackle with Yusuf Aydin 5 seconds ago, still hanging around the ruck. Ball comes out, seizes a bit of space, drops it on the toe, and they say you make your own luck. Dufty was just caught napping just an inch or two away. The ricochet was good. And boy, what a half-time scoreline we have. What a mountain the Warrington Wolves have to climb in this second half. It's a kick through, it's a fortuitous bounce, yes, but Davies at the double. 2 tries for Litton in what has been an impeccable first half for the Black and Whites.
You make your own luck, don't you? 2 tries for Litton, 1 for Briscoe, 2 for Briscoe, 1 for SASA. 5 tries for this Hull FC side, who, as it stands, are moving back into second place in the table, and that means on Good Friday, Hull against Hull KR will be second against first. And no mistake from Will Price. What a 40 minutes. That, you've got to say, that's probably one of the best 40 minutes that we've seen from Hull FC in maybe years. They lead by 26 points to 4, but exceptional they've been.
Yeah, look, the black and whites have been outstanding. I'll say this, and a reason for you to watch this second half. That Warrington Wolves side have played at probably 50% of their potential. They have shot themselves in the foot on multiple occasions, and Sam Burgess will have paint coming off the walls in that dressing room. I expect a very different Warrington Wolves in this second half.
Fabulous first 40 minutes. We'll analyse it all when we come back, with Hull FC leading Warrington by 26 points to 4.
Cut away for 4. The Ashes well and truly alive because of one cricketer. Take your eyes off this game. The tension is unbearable. Did we mention it might be spicy? And it's on. They love each other, these two sides. That's a great shot.
Yeah, mouth-watering Easter programme coming up live on Sky Sports. All kicking off on Thursday evening. Big rivals they are as well. Wakefield against Castleford. Sky Sports action at 5 to 8. And look at that, triple header on Good Friday. And at the moment, it looks like being second Hull FC against first Hull KR. Midday main event and action quickly followed by Wigan and Saints at 2:45, and then it's Leeds and Huddersfield at 5:25. And then 2 more games next Saturday, taking on more significance now, isn't it? Lee against Warrington, 8 miles separating the two towns. Sky Sports Plus just before 1:30, and then Catalan taking on Salford in the south of France. We're on the air at 5 to 6. Well, not many people, if any, would have predicted this. Half-time, Hull FC totally dominant, 26 points to 4, and thoroughly deserving their big lead. 2 tries for Briscoe and for Davy Litton. Herman Sasa chipping in with his now normal try again. 1 solitary score for Warrington from George Williams. But Hull FC have been as good as they've been for a long, long time.
Yeah, absolutely, Stuart. It has been one-way traffic for the first 40 minutes, with the exception of that Williams try. And it all started with Tom Briscoe, direct from a scrum. The assist went to Rappan, and with that beautiful little shift onto the outside of Curry, Briscoe opens the scoring on 12 minutes. That wasn't converted from the sideline. Price missed that conversion, but that was beautiful, wasn't it, from Rappan? And the one-handed pass, Briscoe finishing the corner. And then Davy Litton gets on the act, gets on the end of a Cade Cust kick, not handled again by the Warrington Wolves defence. Lovely bit of footwork, controlled the ball, and it was 10 points to 0 with a quarter of an hour played, and we were looking for a response from the Warrington Wolves, who were saying, even at an early stage, they had to score next. Hull FC were having none of it. Here comes Briscoe with his second try. Cade Cust, bullet pass, goes untouched in the corner. The left edge for the Warrington Wolves, he's getting tortured by this Hull FC right edge. They are playing at an absolute clip. They are scoring at a clip. 14 points to 0 after 20 minutes, and it got even better, didn't it? Lovely little soft pass from Asiata, and Sasa, we talked about his post-contact meters. He took 4 defenders over that line to score his tries, consecutive tries now in 6 games for the Black and Whites. That took it to 20 points to 0, and then, and only then, did we get a response. And it took the captain from the Warrington Wolves, George Williams, to single-handedly put them on the board. Gets a change of direction from Matt Duffy, gets on the outside of Rapiner, sides in between Briscoe, and gets the ball down for Warrington's only try. And actually, one of their only visits into that area of the field, such has been the paucity of possession they've had in the right area of the field. But you allow Williams a little bit of space, and that is what you can do with it. But the full stop was put on that first half, that emphatic first half performance from Hull FC by David Litton. Once again, football skills and a nice little dive at the end to celebrate in front of that huge contingent of travelling fans, to take us to a half-time score, a scarcely believable half-time score of 4 points to 26, and the Black and Whites have had the run of absolutely everything. And I'll caveat all of that by saying, Stuart, that I don't think we've seen a third of what the Warrington Wolves are capable. Self-destruction, but also the discipline from what Hull FC have offered.
Well, it says it all on the scoreboard. It says it all on the stats as well, John.
No, I mean, the possession is ridiculous, and that's largely down to the completed sets from the Warrington Wolves, 69%. You're not going to put yourself in a competitive position from there. Contrast that, almost perfect, 22 out of 24 sets completed. Take a look at the play the balls, bottom line in the opposition 20. That is the amount of pressure that they are putting on a defensive line, defending their own goal line, and they have been ruthless when they've been down there. That is as lopsided a set of stats as you are going to see.
Yeah, look at the errors as well. Just 2 from Hull FC, 9 from the Warrington Wolves, and you know what a performance it's been from the Black and Whites. So there we have it. The big question now is, can the Warrington Wolves find a way back? Can Sam Burgess come out with some words of wisdom, John, to help them turn this around?
Well, I'll say one thing for these supporters. They've certainly got the players to do it. It's just whether their attitude is there, because I think they've tried to cut corners defensively. They've tried to slow down Hull when it just wasn't on. They've lost battles at the ruck, spent too long in or around the ball, and given up possession, territory, and ultimately points. I'll say this, they've got the talent to turn this around, not just wipe out a 22-point deficit, but they've got the talent to go on and win this game. The question is, are they up for it?
Well, that is the big question, and we'll find out very soon. Second half is on the way. Warrington 4, Hull FC 26. Well, the second half will be underway very shortly with Hull FC dominating. But we've got some NRL action on Sunday. The Newcastle Knights against the West Tigers. Sky Sports action for that just after 7 AM. And then just reminding you to follow this, it's Cass against Lee at the Jungle. 5 to 8 on Sky Sports Plus, and then can Huddersfield finally get a win against the Catalan Dragons Sunday afternoon at 5 to 3, again on Sky Sports Plus. Well, there is a very proud dad, one of the great players of the Super League era, of course, Leon Price. Played for Hull FC, played for St Helens in a grand final against Hull FC, and of course here to watch his son Will, who's had an outstanding first 40 minutes, as has the rest of the Hull FC side. But we're about to get underway, and I saw you grabbing a quick word with the Hull FC coach John Cartwright.
Yeah, just nipped in to ask. I mean, look, it's a very happy dressing room, clearly. Just asked him what the goal was for the second half, and he said, look, you know, we're already in a match-winning position. It's ride this one home now with our defence. So, you know, that's what he's looking for, a shutout, really. Try and snuff out any ideas of a fight back from the Warrington Wolves.
First 10 minutes of the second half will be key. We're going to see anything from Warrington to get themselves back into this game. Danny Walker trying to go from acting half-back, but again, good, strong defence. Jack Ashworth has been a huge figure, hasn't he, for Hull FC since he's come off the bench. Here is Luke Yates, just shy of halfway.
Move! Oh, there!
Well, they're going to need some magic from their magic men, aren't they? The Warrington Wolves, the likes of Dufty and Williams, Sneed, Ashton, to step up. Last one, it goes back to Mark Sneed. No problem at all for Tom Briscoe. So, first job done for Hull FC. See out that initial set from the Warrington Wolves.
Yeah, I think the Wolves are going to throw the kitchen sink, aren't they, at this for the first 10 or 15 minutes. They want to see and test out, check whether this Hull FC defence is up to snuff, whether they can crack, dent, budge, or provide some sort of impetus, some sort of spark to get them going.
Litton was brought down. Outstanding first 40 minutes from Hull FC. Here is Asiata once more. Just shy of halfway. He was going to offload. Held was the shout. Last was the shout from the referee, Aaron Moore, and on the fly, Matty Ashton runs straight into Hardacre and Rapidar. Here is Ben Curry. Again, good defence from Jack Ashworth and from Yusuf Aydin. Two off the bench. Amir Burrow was in there again. Here is Williams. They'll try and run it wide to Dufty, but there's nowhere for Matt Dufty to go.
All the 10 boys.
Chamberlain and Caesar coming up with the defensive play. It's a good job that Yusuf Aydin missed there, wasn't it? Jordy Crowther for Warrington. Well, we said in the first half, before they got their try, they had to score next, and here we are at the start of the second half, and they have to score next. Sneed again will go high, testing Tom Briscoe, and Briscoe puts the ball down, and then Williams puts the ball down. I think the ball went backwards, did it, from Tom Briscoe. So it'll be a Hull SC scrum. I think went back off Briscoe, and then Williams knocked on.
Yeah, I think George Williams thought for a second about maybe making a challenge, but he's facing his own goal line, come off his chest, gone backwards, yeah, and then George Williams has just knocked that one on. So it is head and feet to Hull FC. You wonder just exactly what has been said by Sam Burgess at half-time.
Well, basically, obviously, hugely disappointed, but he's saying that they've been here before and they've got the ability to get back. The kicking game has to be better. That's what Sam's saying.
Bang your heads, boys, Matt, bang your heads.
4 minutes gone in the second half. It was a rampaging Hull FC in that first 40 minutes. Martin plays the ball. Here is Litton. 2 tries in that first half for Davy Litton, but there's the mistake that Warrington have been looking for, and there's the mistake that Hull FC didn't want. Just play it safe, play it cool. Looked like a captain's challenge, I think. Hull FC were claiming that ball was stripped, so we're going to have a look through the eyes of the video referee, Jack Smith.
It's tackle 1, Hull are challenging the on-field ruling of a knock-on. David Litton's in possession. In possession at this point. Ball comes out there. The ball touched the ground. Loses the ball. Loses the ball, and the ball touches the ground. The challenge will be unsuccessful. Use the ground to gain possession of that ball again. Challenge is unsuccessful.
Well, some teams haven't been getting these captain challenges right. We could see from 100 yards away on the gantry that he's lost that ball. But the captain challenge is unsuccessful. So this is an opportunity for Warrington to get that first score and get a real foothold in this game.
Yeah, I think, look, you've got to credit Yates, Philbin, and first of all, Jordan Crowther, who really, it's a forced mistake. You can call that a forced mistake. down to the intensity of the defence, the line speed, the commitment, the intent shown by the Warrington Wolves. And they're setting a scrum up here. It's unusual. They're setting a scrum up really close to the right-hand side of the field, and they've got every backfield player on the open side.
Interesting call.
Well, you don't do that unless you've been practicing this on the training field. So let's see what unfolds.
They have a plan.
And that's not in it.
Go again. Take two. 26-4, Hull FC leading, 5 minutes gone in the second half. Is there any way back for Warrington?
Out.
Here is Crowther now. Big hit on Adam Holroyd. Walker, Crowther. It's a late hit. Is it on Crowther? It's a penalty. Jordy Crowther gets up, but Hull FC have dropped the ball and they've given away a penalty. And this is the start that Sam Burgess and Warrington would have wanted.
Yeah, and it was
the second half.
It was Ashworth who hit him from behind as he released the ball. And you have a duty of care to your opponents there. Look, it's a tough physical sport, but you're in a vulnerable position when you've released and passed the ball. It was a two-part offence that was the first from the scrum, and then they rolled a whole load of forwards around the other side as well. And Ashworth's been called out here.
Well, this is going to be an interesting call. The call's been made by the video ref.
Gents, I'll explain it to you. So it's late, there's no attempt to wrap.
Is it going to be 10 minutes in the sin bin for Jack Ashworth? It is. So Hull FC will be down to 12.
Yeah, look, and it's exactly the right call as well. You heard the referee say it. It was late. It had a fair bit of force behind it. There was no intent to wrap and make a tackle. That was just like a body slam, body check. And it's, you know, it puts Jordy Crowther in a really dangerous position there. That flexion of the neck, that's what the referees are looking for.
Yeah. Well, there's aggression and there's over-aggression. And Hull FC have got to play the next 10 minutes with 12 men. Sneed now. Could Warrington cash in? Williams for Curry! Curry cut inside, and it was well read. The ball goes out, Rapidar gets it back, and that was terrific defence by Hull FC. But what a wasted opportunity for Warrington.
You watch this go up a notch now. There's some real frustration here from the Wolves.
Move back. Ball two.
Well, they didn't give Curry any opportunity at all, did they? I think there's going to be some fiery Hull FC players in there as well. The spark is about to be lit, I think.
Jordy, you're off, Jordy!
That's been a really good set of defence. That's a good response. It was sloppy in attack, but that is a good response. Look where Hull FC are kicking from here.
Well, Price under pressure there from Crowther. The referee, Aaron Moore, saying that was okay, and it is going to get a bit fiery now, isn't it? Of that, there's no doubt. It's gone up more than a notch.
Yeah, and there's players coming out the line here, so you know, this is where your George Williams, your Matt Duffy's come to the fore. There are players leaving the line for Hull FC. They're looking to put shots on.
Philbin. Midway inside the Hull FC half. Sneed now. Again, great defence from the black and whites. Kate Cust it was. Defensively, he's been really strong today. Sneed again. Williams through the gap. Williams goes for the line. Williams has support from Stewlis. And Stewlis will score. And Warrington have their try at the start of the second half through Josh Stewlis. Down to 12 men. Warrington had to capitalise. Warrington had to score. And Warrington have scored. Stewlis has the try. It's game on again.
Oh, and it's George Williams again to the fore. The captain is single-handedly dragging the Warrington Wolves back into this. Let's take a look at what he does here. It doesn't look like much, but it's just that subtle show, swivel of the hips into the backfield. The defensive line for Hull FC, for the first time in the match really, at 6s and 7s, And a player of this class, a player of that quality, is always going to find an out for his teammate. And this time it's Josh Thulis who capitalises. It's brilliant stuff. Is there a better sight in English Super League than to watch George Williams running a ball? Brilliant. And is this the start of a fight back?
Let's hope he does it quite a lot in the autumn. Ashes Test Series.
Don't wish the year away. It's what a brilliant start to 2025 this has been.
Absolutely. A big kick again for Sneed, right off the touchline. Can he put Warrington into double figures? No is the answer. And the shouts of Sneed are coming from the Hull FC fans. Of course, Mark Sneed won the Laptop Trophy, the man of the match in the Challenge Cup final, back-to-back in their cup wins, didn't he? 2016 and 2017, but he couldn't convert Josh Hughes' try. Mistake, error, penalty, sin bin, Warrington tries. So the perfect start to the second half for Sam Burgess. Not what John Cartwright would have been talking about in the Hull FC dressing room.
No, look, you know, he talked about defence, didn't he? But like, as you said, there's forceful and then there's unnecessary, and we saw that from Jack Ashworth. When this 10-minute spell is up for Hull FC, we'll see what sort of damage has been done. For now, it's just 4 points. But you're right, it's really lit a fire underneath the Warrington Wolves. George Williams really in the thick of things.
Just remember those words from Sam Burgess after half-time. We've been here before.
Yeah,
10 minutes gone in the second half.
We've also been there before against Wigan and it ended up getting worse. But
yep.
Look, this is, it's a quality side. They've got a real opportunity now. A man down. They've been, very, very evenly matched teams across Super League in 2025. A man missing does make a difference, a real difference. Let's see if Warrington can exploit that.
Crowther trying to find a little gap in the Hull FC defence. Here is Walker. For sure, Danny Walker's going to get more involved.
Police for.
Just inside their own half of the field. Here is Williams. Little switch play with Fitzgibbon there. George Williams tries to get the ball backwards. Loses possession. And Warrington are claiming now that it came off a Hull player, but was it play that when it came off the Hull player? That's the question. We're going to have a look at this.
Well, look, my interpretation of this is if the Hull player is moving towards the ball, he's classed as playing at it. He doesn't have to stick an arm out, but he's moving towards the ball. He's unsighted because he doesn't know the pass is coming, but Zach Hardacre is making a play there, so you can class that pretty safely as playing at the ball. He's not trying to take the ball. If he was stood still, there'd be a different matter. You interpret that one of two ways. My interpretation is the same as the referee's. That's a correct decision.
That's where a captain challenge may have come in useful instead of wasting one, but it's irrelevant because at the moment it's all Warrington in the second half. And Hull FC's still down to 12 men. Jack Ashworth in the sin bin.
Move back.
Holroyd it was. Quick play the ball for Walker. But I think he may well have lost the ball. I think there's a little knock on at the play the ball by Adam Holroyd.
Just stay here, boys.
Just getting some momentum. Well, it was an incorrect play the ball. I think that's what he's saying. Aaron Moore.
Not a genuine attempt.
Yeah, not in control of his body as he's playing the ball. So a turnover in possession these days. Warrington gets straight back to work.
Who's square?
They've got to really inject some line speed here. They've got to keep that momentum. There's been a snap in that momentum with a handover in possession. Hull FC, conversely, have just got to ride out this next 6 or 7 minutes.
But that error just taking the fizz out of the fire that was in the Warrington bellies at the start of this second half. Good play from Asiata. Gets the offload away also on halfway. I'm not sure Hull FC have been in the Warrington half with ball in hand in this second half. They are now with Asiata. 13 minutes gone in the second half. Last tackle.
Oh no, boys, go 5.
26 points to 8. Well, the kick away, and it bounces once, it bounces twice, and it's eventually taken by Ashton. There's a bit of Astor's in back play there with Caesar.
Yeah, watch the challenge. I thought it was a fair challenge. It was as the ball was being kicked. It's good kick pressure, genuine kick pressure. Yeah, look, in slow motion they're deceptive. That's a split second, a quarter of a second. That's fine.
That's third, isn't it?
It is getting fiery. It is getting emotional. Now the Warrington fans want a penalty. George Williams screaming for a penalty. Aaron Moore doing well to keep the lid on this. Last tackle. Ball goes back to Sneed. It's a difficult kick, swirling in the sunshine in Warrington. At the moment, the sun is shining on Hull FC. 26 points to 8, coming up for 15 minutes gone in the second half. And interesting that Sam Burgess, the Warrington coach, is normally in his booth in the Eyrie at the top of the main stand. He's now down pitch side to marshal his troops.
I think he'd put a shirt and some boots on if he could, I think, wouldn't he, at this stage?
And do you know what? He'd probably still be as good as he was, yes.
Oh! Move back, boys, back!
Brilliant game of rugby league football. Caesar. Rapinoe looking for a way through. That was an ill-judged pass by Jordan Rapinoe. Looking there for Tom Briscoe. And a man so experienced, there really was no need.
Yeah, I mean, look, take a look at the scoreline, and Jordan Rapinoe would be well advised to take a look at the scoreline as well. They've been under a bit of pressure, but they are clearly ahead in this game. They've got to play conservative rugby while they're down a man, and I've just looked to my left as the ball flew into touch. And John Cartwright, as you said in the first half, is 10 yards away from us, and he threw his arms up in exasperation.
Yeah, I can't blame him. No, what a Warrington got in their armoury. Sneed. Vaughan back on with the offload, picked up by Sneed. Got some space on that right edge. Thewlis now looking to jink his way through. Josh Thewlis, who scored the only try, the Warrington try in the second half. Looking for a penalty, says the referee. Play on. Picked up on the bounce, this time by Vaughan. Does well. The Australian prop forward, and he wins a set restart. It is a set restart. Ball goes out to Dufty now. Dufty jinking his way through. Offside against Hull FC. Well, it's all helter-skelter, fast and furious. It's a penalty to Warrington. They had a set restart, and they got an opportunity once more. Jack Ashworth is still off the field for Hull FC in the sin bin. Powell is on, Sam Powell. Here is Fitzgibbon. Another try now for Warrington, and it's interesting, it's another penalty. This time given away by Kate Cust. Ball strip.
1 second time off.
No, they're treading a fine line here. There's a player getting treated in backfield. It was Paul Vaughan's run on Ed Chamberlain, I think, who's going to have to leave the field for a head injury assessment. Paul Vaughan careered straight through Ed Chamberlain 2 or 3 plays ago. It's where the set restart came, and he was outsized and outmatched and outmuscled, and he's going to have to go off for the customary head injury assessment at his head. We wish him all the best. They will have to do another substitute.
Jack Ashworth is back. They have a full complement now, the black and whites. But Warrington are massing the troops on the Hull FC line. As Vaughan gets the ball out, it goes down, it goes backwards, says the referee, Aaron Moore, but nearly an error there from Paul Vaughan. Fortune this time favouring Warrington. Here is Sneed. Sneed goes on his own, jinks through, stopped just shy of the line, tried to stretch out Mark Sneed.
Try saver Will Price.
And it was tap the ankle of Sneed. They come to this left-hand edge. Williams with a long pass for Curry. Ball goes to ground. Was it a knock-on? Well, he's saying it came off a Hull FC hand, the referee.
Yeah, the first one by
Well,
Hull.
what's happened here? Did it come off a Hull hand? Did it come off a Warrington hand?
Yeah, no, this is Warrington possession
Yeah,
again.
it came off Rapinoe, I think.
Look, and he had to do it as well. He had no choice. He had to make that defensive play, that defensive read. Otherwise, Curry would have got the ball away and Ashton would have walked in untouched. So, look, danger averted, but again, temporarily. There's been some brilliant defensive work done by Hull FC. Rapinoe just then. Will Price was brilliant on Mark Sneyd. They're under the pump here, and the Warrington fans below us are really in full voice now.
What's wrong with you?
Brilliant entertainment. Saturday tea time. Super League on Sky Sports. Williams and Dufty. Dufty looking for a way through. It's been all Warrington in this second half. All Warrington, and we've played 18 minutes, but so far only one try scored by Josh Hewlett, and the ball's gone to ground. And look at the celebrations. Look at the celebrations from the Hull FC players. It's as if they scored a try. But it's going to be a captain challenge. Warrington are gambling. They're throwing the dice. Captain challenge. Jack Smith is the video referee.
Yeah, keep looking, mate.
Tackle one, Warrington are challenging the on-field ruling of a knock-on. It doesn't give us much. Look on camera one. That is in the tackle. Edge to Pear's last. See if we've got anything else that can confirm. United's just making a tackle, so is SASA. Not got anything on that. See if any of the other angles give us anything. And we lose the ball there behind the man. This one might show us all the ball. Liam Knight is on the hand, if anything, there. And we'll just go back to camera 4 for direction. He's making a tackle, Liam Knight. And the ball is lost by Geordie Crowther forward. The challenge will be unsuccessful. It will be a scrum Hull FC ball.
Thanks, mate.
Well, there you go, another unsuccessful captain challenge. Apologies, by the way, if you heard some industrial language on the referee's microphone a short time ago. The fortune favouring the brave defence of Hull FC there. 26 points to 8. We're approaching an hour, but it was Herman SASA with a massive hit on Geordie Crowther.
Yeah, look, the challenge was contested because Liam Knight's hands were in and around the ball, but I think crucially and well explained by the video referee, there was no play at the ball. Liam Knight was trying to effect a tackle and nothing more. No pulling action, no ripping action, which is why the challenge was unsuccessful.
Did the ball go backwards? It's a knock-on. It's a knock-on by Jordan Rapinoe. Well, it looked like they'd seen off the assault from Warrington. The mistake from Crowther, they get the ball back, and arguably the most experienced player in the Hull FC side comes up with a basic error.
It's almost like a mirror image of the first half, isn't it? This time it's Hull FC who are just inviting the opposition onto them. And it's just a momentary lapse in concentration, and once again Hull FC defending their own goal line. They're inviting pressure after pressure after pressure.
Put your heads in, boys. Put your head in, Liam.
Brilliant entertainment.
Go on, ball in now. Out!
We've played an hour though. They need to score quickly, Warrington. Williams trying to cut across the line, but again nowhere to go. Liam Knight goes down. Like it may have been an accidental clash of heads, the Australian prop forward. Here is Yates now, right in front of the post. An hour gone, 20 minutes to go. Powell and Vaughan. Back it goes, and across it goes for Williams. They've got some space for Ashton! Ashton with a fantastic try in at the corner. What a pass from George Williams, and the spectacular Matty Ashton does the spectacular and scores a try. But the video ref will confirm it. It's a try on the field. And now Warrington edging their way back.
Tackle 2, try on field, just checking grounding of the ball. Ashton's got possession of the ball in the field. He always jumps from the field. And that foot's in the field, jumps, got possession of the ball. Just check our side on angle. Confirm this. From the... Yeah, can we have the front on the side on angle, please, that we had first? I think it was camera 1. Yeah, this one will do for us. Slow when we get towards grounded, and the ball is grounded. I've made my decision.
Brilliant pass from the captain, George Williams. Fantastic score from the winger, Matty Ashton. It is game on again. Warrington get their second try of the second half. At 26 points to 12. We are going to be in for a thrilling last quarter.
Absolutely we are. I'll tell you what, this is a fantastic pass from George Williams. He cannons this across the face of 2 Wolves players, 3 black and whites, and I will never, ever, as long as I am commentating on rugby league, get bored of seeing finishes like that.
Sneed from the touchline, and it goes to the left of the post, but Mark Sneed thinks that that went over. The touch judges are saying no, it didn't, and it's 26 points to 12.
Well, I'll tell you what, I disagree with that. I was right behind it, but take a look at it. Never get bored of seeing this. Brilliant, absolutely top draw, first class, international standard from Matty Ashton. You cannot give him that space.
Well, over the years, well, look at that, that's where they come into their very own in the last 20 minutes. 9 tries in Super League. Well, they're going to have to find 3 more in the next 20 minutes.
But this is a really dangerous time now for Hull FC. You know, nearly 50% of the tries have scored this season have come in the period that starts now for Warrington.
And we talked about the try. Rugby League has brought in some daft and silly rules over the years. One of the brilliant rules they brought in is to make the corner flag in play. And it's led to some fantastic tries from some outstanding wingers down the years. Matty Ashton being one of them. So, Warrington now have 18 minutes to go, and they trail by 14. 3 scores needed for the home side, who've really stepped it up in the second half. It's been back to the wall stuff for Hull FC. I don't think they've even been inside the Warrington 20 with ball in hand at all in this second half. Taken well by Price. Just needs a steady hand on the tiller now, doesn't it, from Hull FC?
Yeah, look, this is it. I mean, you know, in all the chaos and all the brilliant attacking play from Warrington, you know, the hard fact remains is that Hull FC are still in a controlling lead. But for the missed conversions, it would have been even closer. Mark Sneed, inexplicably, really, for a man of his standard. I mean, he's had some touchline conversions to attempt, but you know, Hull FC well and truly in the driving seat. They've just got to put a decent set together.
Yeah, he thought that last one was over, didn't he? Here is Rappenar. It was his error that led to that try from Matty Ashton. Here is Asiata now, and Herman Sasa offloads the ball brilliantly to Caesar. Yeah, good play once more.
Stand up, Cade.
Cade Cust. Price puts the kick up. Under pressure from Sneed, it's going to bounce. It bounces awkwardly. Harnaker gets the ball back from line. Now it's Caesar. Now it's Asiata. Oh, pass out from Asiata. Well, that would have been the game. It could have been the game, but a decent pass to Lewis Martin, and that surely would have been the game for Hull FC.
Hey, brilliant vision though, great vision, right idea. Saw it in a split second, just couldn't get the execution quite right, could he? Lewis Martin did as best he could to try and trap that ball. And you're right, if that had been just another foot higher, that would have been a walk-in for Lewis Martin. The Warrington Wolves escape, they're living on the wits at the moment.
It can't be too harsh on John Asiata there. It was a great effort, but the 40-yard pass, wasn't it? 26 points to 12, 15 minutes to go.
Back, John, back, hold.
Great game. Yates brought down.
All the way. Hold now. Go third. Still third.
Offload first, Sneed. Nowhere this time for George Williams to go. Well read by Liam Knight. Tell you what, he's had another good game, hasn't he? Liam Knight for Hull FC today.
Yeah, it didn't quite work out for him at the Bulldogs, did it? I mean, I remember watching him in a South shirt for a long time. Real rock-solid middle forward. And gets a chance to reignite his career over here. Spiraled kick downfield, well taken by Will Price.
I have to say I agree with you, John. Will Price is through. Brilliant break from Price. He's got Williams. He turns Williams inside out. This is sensational from Price. Wow. I was going to say I agree with you. Price has got to be the long-term fullback, and there's one of the reasons why, in attack as well as defence. Turn Williams inside out, and he's opened up an opportunity here for Hull FC. One more try and that will be it. This is as close as they've been in the entire second half, and we've been playing 26 minutes of the second half. SASA barges off Dufty. Ball inside now for Cade Cust. What a break from Will Price. Is it going to help Hull FC here? Put some more points onto the board. This is their first attack on the Warrington line in the second half. Caesar now. SASA looks for the offload. Brought down by Holroyd and by Yates. They go the short side. Is it intercepted? It is by Fewless. And Warrington have it back. Well, this time, the error from Will Price. Warrington have it back and confounded in the tackle. Warrington get a relieving penalty and a chance to bang that ball downfield.
Well, I'll tell you, look, an inauspicious end to a 90-second contribution from Will Price. Anybody who watched the Canberra-Para game this morning would have seen Kyle Weeks do something similar from the fullback position. That was every bit as good. That had the potential to be a real match-winning moment for them. The Warrington Wolves, to their credit, they held firm. But they're running out of time here now. We're into the last 15 minutes of the game. Warrington have got to let this ball sing.
Dusty brought down. Talking of that game, by the way, former Warrington star Matty Nicholson getting another try for Canberra as they put 50 on the Parramatta Reels this morning. It was a poor pass by Paul Vaughan, pounced on by Luke Yates, just inside the Hull FC half of the field. The clock is ticking, 12.5 minutes. Walker, Vaughan on the chance! Vaughan still on the chance! Brought down by Price. The veteran prop there was looking for support, and there wasn't any. But there may be a chance here as Walker tapped on there towards Roderick Ty. Ty straightens up and goes for the line. Wow. End-to-end drama. Last tackle. Play slowly, play on, as Sneed puts the kick forward, and it's back down for Ashton. Ashton will cut inside and score! Matty Ashton with another try for Warrington, and boy, have we got a fantastic finale on the way now. 26 points to 4 at half-time. It's now 26 points to 16, and there's still 12 minutes to go.
This is where they're so dangerous. Paul Vaughan with a rampaging run at the middle and just playing off the back of quick play the balls. This is the run that set everything up. Makes 20-30 metres into the backfield. I thought for a second he was going to try and find Danny Walker. I think he does the right thing taking the tackle. Ball goes out to Roderick Ty, and then a lovely place kick from Mark Sneed. Back from Curry into the hands of the only person you want. 5 metres from the line, Matty Ashton. Pace, evasion, skill. and he gets his second try in a matter of minutes. And I tell you what, you're right, we have a finish in our hands now. Snead's not hanging around either. Kick coming.
Will this be the first successful kick for Mark Snead? I think he's missed another one. He has. It's gone to the left of the post.
And he's remonstrating
He's arguing again, saying to the referee Aaron Moore that the ball went through the uprights at the top of the post. That's 2 consecutive kicks that Snead thinks he has been successful with. But the touch judges both agreeing that it was no goal, but it was a try.
I look at this, our position's right behind this, and that to me is a goal. I really, that's 2 in a row now. It's going over the top of the uprights, but I think there's enough in that. That's twice from 2 attempts, very similar sides of the field, and you could see why Mark Snead is remonstrating.
Well, will that be a talking point at the end of the game?
It certainly will if they lose by 2 points.
Of course, if those 2 kicks were ruled out, if the flags have gone up,
it's a 1-score game, isn't it?
It is. Well, we've had drama, we've had some brilliant entertainment, we've had some controversy, all the ingredients of the Super League at the very highest level. In back play, Liam Knight is really struggling for Hull FC, but here come Warrington again. It's a poor pass behind Williams. Does well to pick it up. Offloads to Roderick Ty. Desperate Hull FC defending.
Yeah, they've lost a fair bit of territory there of the Warrington Wolves. 2 tackles left in the bank. This is the end. Last tackle coming up. What's got Snead got in his locker here?
Well, they're going to run it, and they do run it. Snead finds Fitzgibbon, but Curry drops the ball. And that just takes a little bit of the sting out as far as Hull FC are concerned. They won't be rushing to play this. 9 minutes to go. 26 points to 16.
Yeah, we saw Liam Knight struggling, didn't we, in back play. Some good news to counter that. We saw Ed Chamberlain leave the field for a head injury assessment. Pleased to say he's past that, actually back on the field now. It's a poor knock on. It's a poor pass, actually.
Yeah. I think with Knight, it was just a bit of cramp. He's put a massive effort in there as Sam Burgess. A penny for his thoughts. He'll still believe with 9 minutes to go that his team can still win this.
Well, Hull FC have the chance. They've got a chance to put a full stop on this in this set. They're in great position. Tackles in the bag. Halfway through the set, and they're challenging this line now. They're about to get into that red zone where they've been so dangerous.
Asiata throws out a little dummy. Takes the tackle. 25 yards out from the Warrington line. Hull leading by 10. Here is Kate Cust. Last one. But they've got options. They're going to go the short side. Here is the options as Hardacre. I think that's the experience of Zach Hardacre. Happy to take the tackle and happy to give Warrington the ball 10 yards from their own line.
Well, that tells you that they're willing to back their defence for the remaining 8 minutes of this game.
Just to remind you, still to come on Saturday night. Castleford taking on Lee, but it's an error, and it's pounced on by Williams, but that's behind his own line. I think it's going to have to be a goal line dropout. Well, there's a mistake from Warrington, and talking about backing the defence, they did, and Rappenar was quickest to push Williams back behind his own post.
Well, 100% short kick-off coming here. This will be challenged. This will be challenged by the Warrington Wolves. Snead, short kick-off. We've got Harrison underneath it. Ty knocks it back. Well played, Warrington.
Yeah, they get it back. They will have worked at that in training. Duffy in clear space. Matt Duffy. Good tackle from Caesar. You can be absolutely certain that Snead and the Warrington players will have worked on that dropout for hours during training. They get the ball back, now they get the penalty. There's 7 minutes to go, and it's still 26-16, and Warrington still in the mix.
Yeah, Liam Knight, number 40, miles offside, wanted to get out and try and slow that down, break the momentum, and instead it's marched them 30 metres upfield. Hull FC, well, we said they're going to back the defence here and ride this out. They're going to have to be on point because the Warrington Wolves are going to throw caution to the wind here.
Here is Vaughan. Play on. The referee had already called held. Go back and play it off the mark. 6 minutes to go. Warrington have to score twice. Walker and now Zane Musgrove. They're 10 yards away from the Hull FC line. Walker again. Powell is on the field with him. Sneed with a long pass to Williams. Williams will go on his own towards that line, and he was well watched there, George Williams. The 3 Hull defenders in. Kate Cuss was prominent in the tackle. Sneed switches play inside once more for Fitzgibbon. Last one. This is a big play. It's a crucial play for Warrington. Sneed. It goes inside for Powell. Powell now for Curry. Curry charges towards the line. Ashton keeps to the line. Fitzgibbon keeps to the line. Now it's Walker. Walker with a little chip through towards the line. And it was well read and by Davy Litton. Well played by Davy Litton and well watched by Davy Litton. It's a goal line dropout with 5 minutes to go.
Yes, safety first from Hull FC and Davy Layton. This went through about a dozen pairs of hands. It ended up on the boot of Danny Walker, who put a really cute kick in, really hard. So it didn't sit up, did it? And Davy Layton just has to play safety first. It's a decent dropout, but here comes Zane Musgrove. He's on the charge.
Biff and bang, straight into SASA and Liam Knight.
The irresistible force meets the immovable object. Boy, we've got the last 5 minutes.
We have 26 points to 16. Offload from Ball. Duffy with a little dummy, little side step. Here is Walker. Walker going for the line. Price drags him down. Right in front of the post. Incredible finish. Powell now inside for Musgrove, looking for the offload. It was well read by Rappenar for Hull FC. 4 minutes and counting. Walker switches play. Inside for Vaughan, who looks for the offload, finds the offload for Walker. Sneed now gets round the challenges of Caesar. And the ball goes to ground. Williams can't hold on to it. A rare error from the Warrington captain. Is that it? Is that the game for Hull FC? 3.5 minutes to go. 26 points to 16.
Oh, it's like someone's popped a balloon in this stadium. It was something and nothing, wasn't it? But Caesar was Johnny on the spot. He managed to get there first and puts Hull FC firmly back in the driver's seat. The swingometer has just switched right the way to the other end of the scale now. 10-point lead. You feel there's very, very little time, if any, for Warrington to score twice. There'll be no rush here, will there, from the black and whites?
Sam Essay. A brief appearance. We'll be asking John Wells to choose his Betfred player of the match in the next couple of moments.
Go 5, play on. Go 5, play
3 minutes to go. Caesar puts up a high kick. Taken by Dufty. Long pass, gambling everything to find Matthew Ashton. Ashton can't find a way through. Brought down by Kate Cust. A little over 2 minutes to go. Curry breaks one tackle, finds Roderick Tye. Tye drops the ball. Hull get it back, picked up by Lewis Martin. And the Hull FC fans can surely start celebrating, or can they? Lewis Martin has now dropped the ball. Well, actually, it's going to be a penalty. A penalty to Hull FC.
We've got the ball still, then you've lost it forward, so we can't play.
Yeah, it's been stolen, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, surely they'll just waste time. Surely they will just waste precious seconds. 2 minutes to go. And they're just deciding what to do. I think they'll just tap it. There's no need to go for the goal. No need. Just keep the ball. Keep the ball. And Aidan Caesar will do just that. Kicks the ball into touch. 90 seconds to go. And Hull FC are closing in on a record-breaking 7th consecutive victory. Here is Sam Esse, Betfred player of the match time, John Wells.
Yeah, well, look, you know, it goes to a black and white. Brilliant set of middle performers. Nye, Esse, the man in possession. John Asiat has been brilliant. But after a spell out and coming back into a high-pressure game, I think Cade Cust has been outstanding. He's been a cut above, 2 try assists, controlled everything beautifully in the middle with Aidan Caesar. He's my Betfred player of the match, Cade Cust.
Cade Cust with the honours, the individual honours, with the big win, goes to Hull FC. It was Yusuf Aydin on the last. They were all offside, and surely this time they will kick for goal, because there isn't going to be any more time. Hull FC are celebrating what will be a famous win. There he is, the player of the match, Cade Cust. Never quite happened for him at Wigan. Went to Salford, was then moved on to Hull FC, and he has been outstanding. The John Cartwright evolution, I'm going to say, not revolution, goes on, but a 7th consecutive away win this season.
Yeah, it's outstanding. And as for Cade Cust, you know, you're right. Didn't work out for him at Wigan. Left Salford. Tried to reignite his career at Hull FC. He's surrounded by decent quality players, and I think he's a deserved winner.
Well, there it is. Cade Cust is the player of the match. Hull FC win an absolute thriller here against the Warrington Wolves. They had to withstand an onslaught in the second half, didn't they? At 26-4 up, Warrington came steaming back, scoreless, and 2 tries from Matty Ashton. Mark Sneed claiming 2 goal kicks which weren't given, but in the end it wouldn't have made a difference. It's a magnificent Hull FC performance. Hull FC go back to 2nd in the table. Good Friday, live on Sky Sports Action, live on Sky Sports main event, midday kickoff. Hull FC 2nd against Hull LKR 1st. The Black and Whites win here, 28 points to 16.